Trapping.
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to Saturday's Boys Podcast. I'm Jigger, and I'm here with... KJ is not here with us, unfortunately. He said he's feeling like shit, so he's not with us this time. Yeah, it's that time of year, gotta love that. And I also gonna reiterate that this episode's gonna be premiering when I'm in Colorado, so yeah. And funny enough, when we're filming this right now, my plane leaves actually in less than 24 hours, so it's been a long time coming. It's been 4 months since I've seen all of them and whatnot, all the peeps. And yeah, so how you been, Hunter? Yeah, and I'm done too, but I don't know, it's kind of been a little bit of, I don't know, I'll just see, I'm not gonna say what in public, but I'll just put in more effort, let me just put it that way. Next semester, hopefully, cause school got me fucked up this year, but you know, but yeah, so we'll probably have to cut this episode short just cause it's last minute, and you know, just editing and uploading our episodes every week is time consuming enough as it is, especially if it's a last minute episode. So but this is episode 46. Yeah, 46 episodes. We've been doing this for almost a year now, so. And I'm gonna say next week is gonna be the first episode you guys are gonna see with the guys again, and in person. So that'll be exciting. Next week's gonna be a Christmas Eve episode. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one. And you guys don't take the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes to talk about whatever. And I'm freaking tired. I don't know why I chose now to freaking do this, but I don't fucking know. There's just been a lot going on. School, YouTube, personal shit, all that kind of stuff, and whatnot. So I don't know, just things have felt a little bit more like, I don't know, weird since I moved, I guess you would say. But I don't know, just get through, and that's all that matters. I'm kind of just freaking rambling at this point, but yeah, but so make sure to stay tuned for the Outlast 2 Part 2 stream special on Christmas that I did. If you haven't seen Part 1 that I did for Thanksgiving, make sure to go check that out. It was a fun stream. And just make sure to check out Part 2 of Outlast 2 that I did, that you guys will see for Christmas. Make sure to go check that out. A bunch of big content coming for you guys very soon, especially during the Christmas holiday weekend, which is next week. Holy shit. And yeah, so this is the busiest time of the year because, you know, it's the most happiest time of the year. I don't fucking know. Oh my god, but yeah. Jesus Christ. What? Oh shit. I didn't hear that, no. Yeah. Got a whole bunch of noise going on over there. We're way past the 5-minute mark. Whoops. So the topic for this week is blacksmithing. Which I don't know what the hell to talk about that. I have Kirby write down the topics. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's his job. I have him write down the topics. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but we're just gonna get right into it. Not gonna waste any time. Just because might have to cut this episode short, just because of how last minute it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna look up on Google. Gotta love Google. I'm just gonna look up blacksmith. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is blacksmith. The blacksmith is a metalsmith who creates objects primarily from raw iron or steel, but sometimes from other metals, by forging the metal using tools to hammer, bend, and cut. Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely on the harder side.
Yeah.
Of things to do. For sure.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna go through here. Gonna go through 5 questions on people also ask here. It says, what are blacksmiths called today? Many professions aren't specifically called blacksmith, but industrial workers such as welders, construction workers, and metal workers utilize and practice the same techniques as many blacksmiths. In fact, many of the tools, utensils, and mass-produced items we use daily are thanks to these techniques. Second one, is blacksmithing still a job? Modern blacksmiths work in the automotive, metal processing, electric power, and heavy construction equipment industries. Some open their own shops where they sell metal artwork and custom metal pieces such as raw iron gates.
It's definitely very profitable if you have the right stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Next question, is blacksmithing a good hobby? If you're someone who loves working with their hands and creating, blacksmithing is a perfect extension of these passions. Many artists explore blacksmithing to create art made out of metal, so if art is already a hobby for you, you might love blacksmithing even more.
Yeah, straight.
Alright, so number 4, why is blacksmithing called that? Where did the term blacksmith come from? The process by which blacksmithing got its name is actually a fairly simple one. Iron is one of the common materials that blacksmiths forge, and when it is heated it turns black, providing the first part of the name. Alright, so last one. Last one here, why are there no more blacksmiths? During the first half of the 19th century, blacksmiths were ubiquitous, I don't know if I can know, in the USA. But by the end of the century, they were no longer sufficiently numerous or important goods producers to qualify as a separate industry in the manufacturing census. Damn. Oof. You alright?
Don't mind me just dying.
Just dying.
I'm good. Just dying, you know how it is.
But now we're going to go to YouTube, see what YouTube has for us.
You pubes?
YouTube's. Okay, I'm just gonna look up blacksmithing. See what pops up. Forging a nail? Huh. How to start blacksmithing for $100?
Yes. It's fairly simple. All you need is heat. Yeah.
One way to get your start in blacksmithing. We can start off with that. It's about as long as a screen recording, so we can do that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. We're getting an earlier start and everything just because, you know, we kind of want to cut the episode a little short. But, yeah, let's start on a screen recording. Start a new screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright, there we go. Don't die. Alright, and let's get started. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop for today's filler episode. That's right, it's a filler episode. Click away if you want to see lots being made, because what I'm going to do is I am going to hand sand this blade, and I'm going to talk about what I would suggest to the young, inspired, and excited people out there that want to become blacksmiths. What would be a good way of going about that? So, this is a talk that I gave at Maker Central a while ago, but I did a very bad job of it. I need to practice my talk stuff, and I'm hoping to get a lot better at that in the future. With all things, things take time to do well, it takes practice to do well, and I did not prepare enough to make sure that I did a good job. I did not prepare enough to make sure that I did a good job. And it's the same lesson that I learned here in the workshop. Preparation and effort and discipline and the care to do the job right always is worth it. So, the first thing that I would recommend that you do is you take a blacksmithing class. Now, there are blacksmithing classes all over the world. And yes, it's going to be expensive to take your first blacksmithing class, but it's going to be a much better introduction into the craft than trying to go at it completely ground zero. Right, so the way that I learn stuff, it's not the best way to go about learning things. The best thing for me would be to seek out mentors in the craft and learn from them and study from them. I've got a business to run, and so the cost that I pay is I end up making a lot of mistakes for being able to run this business and share the journey with you on YouTube. That's something that you can't always do. And if you want to learn the craft efficiently while getting as good as possible in the shortest amount of time as possible, I think you need to get yourself a mentor, and here's how. You take a blacksmithing class. And when you go to a blacksmithing class, you make sure that you're the best student there. And I don't mean the best student in terms of you are the best in the class. You're going to be new to it. You're going to suck. You better be aware of that. I mean the best student there in terms of the student that is the most curious, the student that appears to be the most willing to learn. You want to be the type of student that looks so committed, even though you've never done it before. You look so committed to learning the craft that the instructor knows that any extra effort he gives for you is going to be worth it. You know, blacksmiths and bladesmiths, they're nice folk, and they love sharing the craft. Most of them have no reservations sharing anything they know, and that's an incredible thing. The thing is that nobody likes putting effort to help somebody when that effort is not worth it. When that person gives up, doesn't continue, doesn't press forward in the craft, and doesn't continue learning. You know, that's no fun. You don't want to waste that effort. You want to be the person that they know is committed to doing it. Now, that's in your first class. The truth is, in your first class, you may well decide that it's not for you, that you didn't like it, that it takes too long to get anything right in the craft, and you'll spend that class being a great student, asking the right questions, because you should, because even though you're paying for the craft, you should really consider it a great honor to be taking a lesson from the talented blacksmiths and bladesmiths that are teaching this stuff, because a lot of the time they're teaching classes because they enjoy it, not because it's the best business decision for them. And so you should be a diligent student anyway, and once that class is done, you may not like it. You may say it's not for you, you may say it requires just a little bit too much patience, and you want something that you can do that has a little bit of a faster result, say. Or moving hot metal and grinding stuff and making dust and noise isn't for you. And you know what? That's absolutely fine. Golly, that is a beautiful finish. We're at 220 here. And something I learned from some Nick Wheeler videos, and he's a phenomenal, look at his YouTube videos, they're amazing. You're going to learn so much. You should take a class, though, from people first, because he's mentioned before in his videos that a 220 that he does that's clean will outperform in terms of the aesthetics, you know, in a 1,000 grit finish that's got scratches in it that aren't meant to be there. And, you know, when I look at the section of this that is nice and clean, I can truly believe that. Anyway, hopefully, though, you do enjoy the class. And if you enjoy these videos and you know that you're going to be bad at it from the get-go, and you know it's going to take time to learn it, you probably will enjoy the class, because let me tell you, it is truly, truly thrilling to make this stuff and to learn these crafts, and obviously that's why I do it. And here's the result. You took that class, and you were a diligent student. You were committed to taking the critique that the instructor heeded and learning from it and doing better at every step, asking the right questions, the questions that applied to you, not questions like, hey, how do I make explosion pattern Damascus? Because it's your first time blacksmithing. Asking how to grip the hammer is a much more appropriate question to be asking in that situation. There's no point getting knowledge that's way out of your knowledge zone. Ask the sensible questions first. And the instructor is hopefully going to like you. Which means that when you go asking him questions like, where can I buy an anvil in this area? Where can I buy a forge? What do you recommend? He's going to help you, and he's going to give you advice and knowledge that is going to be first-hand and invaluable. It's going to be so much more efficient and effective than doing hours and hours and hours of research on Google and YouTube trying to find the best answer to these questions. No, just get a professional's opinion. Pay for that opinion because you're taking a class. Pay for that opinion because you're being a great student who's making it a pleasure for them to teach the class, but get that professional's opinion. There are lots of schools of thought on, you know, what is the best forge for a beginner and the best anvil for a beginner and the best way to swing a hammer and all of that. But frankly, it's just absolutely ridiculous for that to get in the way and hamper the opportunity that you have right now to type in learn blacksmithing and then your area, get in a car, get on a train, get on a bus, however long it takes to get to the nearest place and learn from them. And the ideal outcome is that as you become a diligent student, the instructor sees that the time spent teaching you is time well spent, you might be able to ask to come help sweep the floor. The trick is you want to make it worth his time to be there in his shop. So, if you want to be in his shop and absorb some knowledge, you've got to give a proposition that's going to be worth it to him. If you're annoying and you're not any use to the workshop and you're going to be getting in his way, nothing's going to happen. He's not going to want you there, and that's not a good thing. But if you're able to truly help out, help sweep the floor, get out of the way when you're needed to get out of the way, and you continue to show that you are interested, and effort spent with you to teach you more about the craft is going to be effort well spent, because you're going to go and take that knowledge and go home and practice in the craft. You can end up learning stuff. You can end up having yourself a mentor. And though it seems far-fetched, this is a big part of how it is that I learned, how it is that plenty of my friends in this field learned so much that helped carry them so far. Remember this, the underpinning to all of this, past just enjoying the class, if you really want to learn the craft, is you need to be committed and determined to learning the craft. And you need to know that you're going to suck the first time you do it. And you need to be willing to commit yourself to honest critique of your work. This here isn't even with here. I need to fix that by bringing that bevel back down. Honest critique of your work, accepting the critique from others, and being driven to do better each day. So that character that's going to underpin your success as you continue, or as you begin to learn this craft. So to all the young viewers, and even not so young viewers, you can start this anytime, who are watching, and they really, if you really want to get into this craft, go get yourself a blacksmithing course, be the best student on that course possible, be determined to learn that craft. If you decide that it's for you, jump right in, both feet first, take on the hobby and learn the skills that you need to learn, and enjoy it, because it's a hell of a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little filler episode. I'm going to see you on the next little filler episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I got the comments here, see if there's any comments. Young man, I could have used this talk about 50 years ago. I managed to muddle through life in a good way, and now I'm retired and puts in with blacksmithing, gardening, and cabinet making, also cooking, and so many other things that make me happy just to do. Thank you for reminding me to listen to the experts and to just do what makes me happy. Advice that applies to every craft, trade, hobby right here. As a high school shop teacher who's curious about starting foraging, your philosophy on teachers and having a proper student-teacher relationship is completely on point. My worst days as a teacher is trying to motivate myself to inspire a student who doesn't want to ask me the right questions or show interest in taught themselves. Cheers. You know, the advice in the video is definitely acceptable for nearly any craft, any profession. Ask the right questions, know you'll suck at the onset, etc. Glad I'm subscribed to your channel. Alex learned so much, and not just about blacksmithing. Even though that isn't my profession, you learn from everyone. Have a fantastic week, young man. Keep on kicking ass and chewing bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh man. Alec, I recently went to a tourist historic. Oh, there goes it. There goes the screen recording. For that one, that was the first screen recording for that one. Is there anything that you know about blacksmithing, Hunter?
Well, I haven't got into it that much.
Yeah.
But I have tried it a bit. It is definitely difficult, but very satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking through here to see what we can do for our next screen recording. just cause why not? I'm just looking through here. How to start blacksmithing for $100? Could do that one, or yeah, I think we'll get to that one, but yeah. So right now I want to take this time to just to say that I appreciate the hell out of you guys for, you know, even though as far as the audience goes, it has kind of gone down with the podcast as of late. Just because, you know, I feel like the podcast has definitely gotten a bit stale as of late. But it's kind of been like that for a while now, and just, you know, I feel like doing a podcast with more people really brings the audience together, just because it's not always one or two people or anything like that. But hopefully when I'm back in Colorado and doing episodes there, it'll definitely bring that up a little bit, for at least a little bit, and then I'll be back here, and it'll kind of be like a repeat of all that, unfortunately. But it's just kind of how things are right now, and whatnot. So yeah, no, that's all I really gotta say about that. I actually want to check something real quick before we continue. Just checking something, it's nothing important, but just checking something. So pardon me for a second.
Maybe I was blind, known you forever while I tried to find someone that could be my queen love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were.
Yeah, but I've been checking like the views and whatnot. The last decent episode that did well was the one on UFC. That was like a month ago. That was like our last episode that at least did somewhat good. And then the one on Thanksgiving didn't get too much recognition. But his views have definitely been going down. Like with the analytics. Yeah, basically 28 views in the last 28 days. That's literally like 1 view per day, basically.
I'm just curious, when did you know you had feelings for me? Maybe somehow we've always.
I mean, I feel that's kind of part of it, though. You know, just you have your highs and the lows about it.
Always chasing after.
I mean, same thing with my actual channel too. It's kind of doing the same too. It's not getting as much recognition as it used to. But that's just because things are so much different right now. It's kind of, you know, hard to bring that audience back.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not stopping because, you know, I can't stop.
Stop, can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know I once I get back here from my Colorado vacation, I definitely gotta step it up a little bit more, you know, as far as content and just not only just things to YouTube, but things in my personal life as well, like school, gym, get back in the gym and stuff like that. You know, just trying to get back on a different life routine, because I kind of just been slacking around as of late, but you know, we all have those moments, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, so alright, thing. Oh, there's what? I'm forging a nail?
Forging a nail? Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
You can forge a lot of things. I mean, there was a blacksmith guy that I was listening to not too long ago that said you should always start off by forging a nail.
Might check
You
that
get, like,
that
a
one
bunch of
out.
things.
I might just check that one out just because I'm curious.
Go for it.
Alright. Alright. Start a new screen recording. 3. Start a new screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Huzzah. Alright. Huzzah. Let's get right into it.
To understand the craft, you've got to understand the really very, very basic kind of principles of what we're doing. There are 7 traditional blacksmithing techniques. They're regarded as essentially a kind of basic set of techniques that you can... that pretty much all ironwork you see would have been made of one of or a combination of those techniques. And what you've got in nail making is 2 of those very, very fundamental techniques. So in effect, if you can master nail making, you are kind of about a quarter of the way to mastering your trade. So the 2 basic techniques are A, drawing out or making a taper, making a point, and the second one is upsetting or squashing the material to make it thicker. And that's when you're making the nail head. And teaching nail making, A, teaches you how to control the fire, the heat in the forge, because you've got to be quite on it. It's a fairly thin piece of steel. So it's teaching them how to control, when we cut the nail, you're cutting kind of 4/5 of the way through. So actually to control your strike, then you put a bend in it, then you've got to put it back, you've got to get the right heat. If it's not hot enough when it goes to the vise, it's not going to catch, you're not going to get a head on it. If it's too hot, it's going to burn. So all these kind of complex little things. If you're trying to learn all that when you're making a knife, then it's even more complicated, and I think it doesn't matter if you burn a few dozen nails, because it's relatively cheap material, and it's a really, really good way to learn it. So that's why even in our axe making classes and our knife making classes, that we tend to always start with making nails.
Oh, that's almost a perfect nail. Yeah. It sounds like a beat.
In a day, I can probably make, I think 250 is probably a good day for me. Not so much now, because I'm getting a bit worn out, but a few years ago I would have made 250 in a day, which is about 25 an hour, say, in a good 10-hour day. So the traditional and professional nail makers, their average was about 100 an hour, up to more than that, so 4 in a minute, which is insane. I mean, that level, and also that level of physicality. So making nails is extremely physical. It's not, you can't kind of stop and wait for your big piece of steel to heat up and then you're on the anvil for kind of a few minutes and then back and forth. It's, you'll have 3 or 4 irons in the fire, you're constantly rotating, you don't stop. And it's part of the pleasure of it, but it's fast and furious. But if imagine someone has to make, they make 100 nails an hour. Okay, they're probably using a trip hammer, and they're probably making small tacks and other different bits and pieces they set up properly. So there were just professional nail makers. That's all they did. But that is a serious strike rate. And if you think an average nail takes 100 strikes, so 250 nails in a day is a lot of strikes, 25,000.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, so we always say the average smith would strike somewhere between 20 and 30,000 strikes a day. That's your kind of decent, 8 to 10 hour working day, 30,000 strikes. I mean, it would have been such a brutal business being a traditional nail. I think that's part of my kind of interest in the history of the nails and the kind of folklore based around nails, the idea of it being such a kind of, such a humble thing to make, and it's so understated, and in a sense, it sounds a bit airy-fairy in a way, it's kind of really unchampioned as a product, as a thing, a beautiful item, if they're made well, but also the impact of the people who are making these, the value of the nails, and I think people always leap to the sort of the kind of hero pieces, but actually to be able to make a really, really good nail is a great skill in itself. All my nails have the edges ground off, and that came from when I first started making nails. I wasn't very good, so I used to grind them to make the heads nice and round. But actually now I can kind of not by any means every time. But now I can often make a relatively kind of perfect nail, but I still grind the edges because it became like a trademark. So if you find a nail with ground edges, it's more than likely to be one of mine.
That is some cool stuff.
Making stuff is always just swag itself.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
If you want to, I'll get you flowers waiting around the bend. Baby, let's just pretend. I want to stay like this forever.
I'll be right back. I
Stay
got
right here with you. Wanna stay right here with you. As the rest we fall until it all breaks down. But I need it so I will stay around when you're all messed up. It's a great relief to be understood. It's a shame still waters run deep. So let us walk right into the forest, to the trees and the rising sun. It is something we can't outrun. I do whatever it takes to hold you, whatever it takes to you. Wanna be in this game for two. When it all comes down, do you feel alive? Are you feeling lost? You were made to fly, but you're so much more than a memory. It is not easy. It's a shame still waters run deep.
That's where she's. Actually, we might have to cut the episode short on this one just
The
because
rest we fall,
camera
till it
storage
all breaks
is
down.
running out.
But I need it so I will stay around. And when you're all messed up, it's a great relief to be understood. It's a shame still waters run deep.
still got a screen recording going. I was about to end. So.
Listen up now. When it all comes down, do you feel alive? Are you feeling lost? That you were made to fight, but you're so much more than a memory. And it's not easy. You were made to fight. It's a shame. Still waters run deep.
Why is it still following me? Fuck off.
Alright, but there goes that screen recording. Oof.
Oh, this is so funny.
I think we should might as well get into the last one. Damascus Steel from Twisted Chain.
Yeah.
Kind of into that.
It's very fucking swag, I tell you what. Fucking pissed control.
Now let's just get right into it. Alright, so I'm actually gonna start this and I'll be right back because I'm just gotta refill my water, so. Gotta stay hydrated, kids.
Stay hydrated or fucking die.
Yeah,
That is a threat.
that's a threat. Yeah, but everyone's gonna get started on one last screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's get started on it. Oh. Be right back. I'm back.
You're coming back, yeah.
Oh, that is fun. God, that's fascinating. I'm glad you can see my screen right now. I don't know why that's so satisfying to me, but it is. Damn. So satisfying. So satisfying.
He's the best. You look so nice. What the fuck?
I saw the city passing by my window. Was in the crowd, but I felt so alone.
Oh, there goes the screen recording.
Phone like every other
So I think this is what we're gonna wrap up the episode, guys. We're running out of time on the storage on the camera. So yeah, I know this one's gonna be cut off a bit short. We haven't hit an hour yet. We're about at 53 minutes or so. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed and had Hunty here with me for this one. And then stay tuned for more content coming next week for the podcast and main channel content and my Outlast 2 Part 2 stream coming out on Christmas, December 25th. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, so basically all that we gotta say. And I got a plane to catch in like less than 24 hours, so yeah, and then so that's where I'm gonna be. And when you guys just seen this premiere, I'll already be in Colorado. So yeah. But is there any last words you want to say before we end it off, Hunter? Before we get to see you again, or?
Yo, mama.
Yo, mama.
Yo, mama.
But yeah, but we hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for special content coming next week. Yeah. Yeah, well, the hell you guys make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, we will see you next week. I got in this off because I got to do other shit and I got put in catch less than 24 hours. So, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces. Bye.
trapping.